Hi, Fleet Maull here for Windhorse Seminars. I wanted to introduce you today to a very simple yet powerful resilience building tool called Safe, Resourced, and Connected. Now, since this is basically a mindfulness-based resilience building tool, we will practice a few minutes of mindfulness just to sort of enter into the body and be fully present for this exercise. So what do I mean by mindfulness? If you're new to mindfulness, it simply means being present and being attentive to the present moment. And to help us with being more present, more mindful, we will focus on the body and the breathing as an anchor that helps reference us or orient us to the present moment. And so that as we do the safe, resourced, and connected exercise, we're doing it in a very embodied way and a very present way, which is what really leverages the impact of the exercise. So I think all of us struggle sometimes in the midst of our personal lives and our work lives with getting frustrated or getting triggered emotionally, maybe perhaps with some anxiety or worry about different things. And we may find ourselves very often in a reactive mode instead of a responsive mode, and sometimes reacting in ways in personal or work situations that are not only not in our own best interest, but actually, are not that welcomed by others, or that don't really bring about the best results that we're all looking for. So how could we be more resilient so that we're more likely to have the presence of mind to be in a more responsive mode, or at least recognize when we're starting to get triggered and shift more quickly into a responsive rather than a reactive mode, where we can interact with others in skillful ways based on all of our good communication skills and our intelligence and our wisdom and our good intentions and so forth. Okay? So that's the reason for doing this. And I'd like to just jump in and give it a try. Okay? So you may find it helpful to sit up with a relatively erect posture in whatever kind of seating arrangement you have at the moment. You can, if you want and feel more comfortable, you can lean back. You sit on a couch, you could lean back, or if you have a comfortable chair or even a recliner and you want to do that. Some people find it helpful to sit up straight. It kind of helps us be more wakeful, but do whatever works for you. Also, to learn this practice, this tool, I would encourage you to do it with your eyes closed. Now, once you've learned it, you can do it with your eyes closed or open. And in fact, I do it quite often with my eyes wide open in the midst of my work or driving my car and so forth. Okay? So you can do it anytime of day or night, anywhere, and you can do it with your eyes open or your eyes closed. But to learn it, I would suggest being in a comfortable seating arrangement, be in a place where you won't be interrupted for a few minutes, and closing your eyes just to sort of really learning the practice, okay? All right. So having arranged ourselves in some kind of comfortable seating arrangement and then closing our eyes, I would invite you to bring your attention to your body and to your breathing. To bring your attention to the actual physical sensations that make up the experience we call body, to the actual physical sensations that arise and fall away with each in-breath and each out-breath. And anytime we notice our mind wandering, we can just gently bring it back. If the mind wanders again into some kind of distraction or thought process, we just see that, we gently come back. And we come back to feeling the body, feeling the breath. So as you explore this present moment mindfulness and awareness of body and breathing, of course you'll notice that we experience sensations, physical sensations, the sensation of touch, all across the body from head to toe on the surface of our skin, which is one big sensory organ, including the air passing across the nostrils or parted lips with each in-breath and out-breath. along with those surface sensations, there's also a whole internal world of physical sensation within the body. And we have kind of a technical term for that that's used a lot today called interoception. Interoception. Right? You have just the basic word perception. You can talk about exteroception, being external perceptions. You can talk about proprioception, which is that sense that we know where our body is in space, or our legs or arms are in space. And then we have this term interoception, which is the body's capacity to feel itself from the inside out. So clear examples of that are when we have a headache, or some stomach upset, or some muscle pain. Or interoception is also how we know when we're hungry, when we're thirsty, when we need to use the restroom, and so forth. So that's this idea of interoception. And the more we can tune in to that kind of interoceptive awareness of our body, inside and out, not only the aches and pains, but just the felt presence of the dynamism of the body. There's just constant flow of sensation and aliveness throughout the body. And the more we can tune into that, we develop a deeply felt presence of the body, which again anchors us in the present moment. So the invitation is to explore all of the different sensations we can feel from head to toe, both on the surface of the skin and within the body, including things like the pulse or heartbeat. If we slow down enough, perhaps we can actually sense the heartbeat, feel the heartbeat. Okay, so this is basic mindfulness of body, mindfulness of breathing. Of course, with the breath, we have sensations related to the passage of air across the nostrils or parted lips, as I mentioned before. We have the sensations related to the rib cage opening and closing. We have the belly rising and falling, the diaphragm muscle contracting and relaxing, and so forth. So while practicing this basic mindfulness of body, mindfulness of breathing, and just gently coming back whenever we notice that our attention has drifted off, while doing that, I'm going to invite you to contemplate three things. We'll do them in order, and they're somewhat of a progression. We'll do them one at a time in order. And the invitation is to do each one where we're contemplating a specific idea, a specific experience, focusing on that, to also be aware of the body and breath as we're doing that, to the best of our ability. Okay, ready? So the first contemplation is that right here, right now, we are safe. We're basically safe. So hopefully you're in a relatively safe space where you are. So right here, right now, I'm safe. Just repeat that to yourself again and again, whatever way that works for you, so that you actually begin to feel safe. You have that experience of feeling basically safe, basically okay. Physically safe, emotionally safe. Right here, right now, I'm safe. Now, contemplating an idea like safety could bring up memories of times when we didn't feel safe. That's fine. You can just let that come and go, and just keep bringing your mind back to, yes, and right here now, I am actually safe. I'm relatively safe here in the moment. So coming back to that again and again, and just repeating whatever phrase works for you. That right here, right now, in this moment, I'm actually safe. I'm relatively safe. Okay, the second contemplation building on that is that right here, right now, I'm resourced. In other words, my basic needs are met. Food, warmth, shelter, facilities, water. I have what I need. So repeating whatever phrase works for you, that right here, right now, I'm resourced. I'm okay. I have what I need. Okay, so just Keep coming back to that and repeating a phrase that works for you so that you actually begin in your body, mind, your nervous system, your brain to begin to feel not only safe and okay, but resourced in this way that I'm describing, that our basic needs are met. Okay, right here, right now, I'm resourced. I'm okay. My basic needs are met. So as we're breathing, we can be breathing these qualities into our nervous system, almost into the marrow of the bones. Right here, right now, I'm safe and I'm resourced. Safe and resourced. Okay, the third contemplation, the third and final contemplation, building on the first two, is that right here, right now, I'm connected. I'm connected to other human beings. I have people in my life. Maybe all my relationships aren't perfect or just, the way I want them to be or all the relationships I'd like to have. But I do have people in my life. So bring to mind your loved ones, your very close friends, your family members, and really feel their presence and feel that sense of being connected to other human beings. There are people that have your back, you have their back, and we are part of an interdependent web of caring human relationships. So really, again, bring to mind or really into your mind's eye and feel the presence of those who are you're really close to, your loved ones, family members, close friends, perhaps some close work colleagues. And feel that sense of being connected. Right here, right now, I'm connected. Right here, right now, I'm connected. Again, just like contemplating safety or resources could bring up lots of things, and just let whatever comes up come and go, but keep coming back to, bringing your mind back to, right here, right now, I'm connected. I am part of an interdependent web of caring human relationships. I do have people in my life, which is the opposite of being alone or isolated. Right here, right now, I am connected. Continuing to breathe and perhaps finishing off the exercise with a few long, slow breaths and just reciting these statements or contemplating these qualities of being safe, resourced, and connected. Safe, resourced, and connected. Safe, resourced, and connected. Safe, resourced, and connected. Right here, right now, I'm safe, I'm resourced, and I'm connected to other human beings. I have people in my life. Okay? Well, thank you. That was it. Safe, resourced, and connected. Now, that was kind of an elaborate form. Now, one of the reasons that we're doing this is because of something called the negativity bias, that our brain is set up to pay much more attention to negative experiences, fearful experiences, or uncomfortable experiences than positive ones. In fact, we know from current neuroscience that positive experiences don't even go into long-term memory unless we hold them in our short-term memory for, the science says, 12 to 20 seconds. So what do you think is mostly in our long-term memory? Well, you guessed it, a lot of negativity and fear-based experiences. And so that's one of the reasons that we kind of default towards anxiety and worry and negativity often. Of course, we see this in ourselves, I'm sure, and we see it in the broader culture. So contemplating positive qualities and positive experiences helps balance out what's there in our long-term memory, and actually begins through the phenomena that we call neuroplasticity, the brain's capacity to restructure itself, begins to actually change our neuronal structure so that our default mode is not quite so negative or so fearful, that it becomes more balanced, right? So you could do this exercise, let's say 30 seconds on safe, 30 seconds on resourced, and 30 seconds on connected. That's simply a minute and a half. So we all have a minute and a half from time to time, and you can do it anytime, anywhere. And if you get in the practice of doing this 2 or 3 times a day, over time it will restructure your brain, right? So a minute and a half, safe, resourced, and connected. So give this a try and see how it feels for you. Like anything, it's not a matter of just flipping a switch, but if you do it with some regularity, I think you'll really begin to see lasting effects. But each time you do it, I think you'll feel good. And obviously you want to do this at times when you do feel safe, resourced, and connected. And but really, if we think about it, even though we experience all kinds of struggles in life, most of the time we are safe. Most of the time we are resourced. We have our basic needs are met. And most of the time we actually are connected to the people in our life. Okay? So I wish you the best with that. Thank you very much for giving it a try.